Hello and welcome back guys. In today's video I will teach you how to make the suggestion system for your Discord. This will be our database model. You can copy it out and we will need to make a change in our guild config model and we are adding a property called suggestion. It will have our suggestion channel ID. And now let's go to our suggestion.js. It will be our command. So let's get started. So first of all we will give it the name suggestion and then the description will be create or reply to suggestions, and then comes the options and timeout. First of all, let's add the timeout for 1 second for now. You can increase it later on. And then comes the options. So for options, what I'm gonna do is, firstly, name will be create for creating the suggestions and the type will be 1 and the description will be create a suggestion. Now first option will be the suggestion. It is going to be the literal suggestion that the user sent us, and its type is going to be 3, that is string, and it is going to be required. It's an obvious thing. And then comes the description. It is going to be the suggestion you want to give. And after create we are going to have the reply, and its type is going to be 1 as well, and the description is going to be reply to a suggestion. And then comes the options. So in options, first of all we will need the ID of the suggestion, and its type is going to be string as well, and it will be required to. And then comes the description. Description will be the suggestion to which you want to reply. And then comes the status. Its type is also going to be 3 and it is going to be required obviously. Now comes the description. Set the status of this suggestion. And now we will have some choices as well. So choices will be, first of all, name will be accepted and its value is going to be 1. And its value is going to be 1. And then we will have rejected and its value is going to be 2. And after status we are going to have another thing. It will be called response. It will be the response to our suggestion and its type will be 3 as well, and it is going to be required like others. And description will be the response to this status. And now let's get started. So first of all we will need to fetch some data, right? So let's start by importing some models. So first of all we will need the guild config, then we will need the suggestion one. And now let's start by fetching some data. So first of all, what we will need to fetch is the option which the user is using. So we will do interaction.options.get subcommand. Now we will fetch the suggestion option. It is going to be interaction.options.get string. In here I will type suggestion as well because that's what I named it right here. After suggestion we are going to need 3 more. First of all the ID, secondly the status, and at last we will need the response. And now let's actually fetch some data from our MongoDB. So firstly we will need to get the guild config. For that I'm just gonna do data is equals to await guild config.find1, and in here I will provide the interaction.guild.id. and now what we have to do is we will literally just copy this and we will add this, or we can also type question mark, but I'm kind of used to use these ors, so I'm going to use that. And instead of find one, we are going to say create. So we are creating the data if data is not found. And then comes the suggestion. And then we will create another variable called sug. It will be await suggestion. And by the way, guys, call it suggestions instead. And then we will do suggestions.find1. And then the ID is going to be the ID we got here. All right. And now we have all of our data. And now let's get started. So first of all, if option is equals to create, that means the user is trying to create a suggestion. We will need to have a if check. If, and by the way, let's create another variable right here. See, that is going to be the channel. It will be interaction.guild.channels.cache.get, and we will need some data. For that I will do data.suggestion. It will be the channel ID to be precise. And now if the channel do not exist, then the creation of suggestion is impossible. So we will do return interaction.edit reply. Oh shit, I forgot to do one thing, guys. At the top we will need to defer the reply, so we will just do defer reply, boom. This is really important, trust me. So now we will need to reply to the user, and then we will say that suggestion channel is not set up, and I will just add an emoji and I will say suggestion not set up. Otherwise we are just gonna create a suggestion and we will tell the user that suggestion is created. So we will do const message is equals to await c.send to send a message, and we will first of all send an embed, and we will need few things. First of all, title will be new suggestion, and then the description is going to be the suggestion that user sent us, suggestion, and then comes the fields. So fields are going to be quite good. So first of all, we will have the upvotes, and its value is going to be 0 for now. So guys, this is the message that we are going to send to our suggestion channel, and then I will just do a simple thing. We will do await suggestions dot create, and now we will need to create a suggestion in our database. So let's look at our data and let's see what do we need. So let me just grab all of this and paste it right here. So first of all, the suggestion is going to be the suggestion, user is going to be the interaction user, so it will be that, message will be message.id, channel will be c.id, and the guild will be interaction.guildid. And now comes the votes. Well, upvote is 0 and so is the downvote, so I will just do 0, and created ad is going to be date.now because it is just created, and we are done with the data. And now I will just do two more things. First of all, we will do message dot edit, and we will do one more thing. Let me just do const em is equals to message dot embeds bracket 0, and then we will do em dot fields dot push, and we are going to add a property called suggestion id, and then comes the value is going to be like, so the value will be message.id, and please type it properly. And inline thing, to be honest, do not matter for this one, but I'm gonna set it true as well. And then we are done. We just have to edit this message, and this time embeds are going to be message.embeds. And by the way, we don't even need to do that much. I can just do this, easy. And now we edited this, and now we also have to inform the user that the suggestion is created successfully. So I'm just gonna say embed color is going to be green, and then the title is going to be with the check mark suggestion created. And by the way, we need a color for our suggestion as well, so I'm gonna add the blue color here too. And we are done with the create option. Now comes the reply option. So for reply, what I'm gonna do is else if option is equals to reply, that means user is trying to reply to a suggestion. So first of all, we will need to check if this user have enough permissions. For that case, we are just gonna do interaction.member.permissions.has, and we will check for the manage guild permission. And if it do not exist, so we are just gonna do return interaction.edit reply, and then the embed is going to have the title. It will be cross, you are not allowed, and that's enough, I will say. And then comes another thing, if the suggestion do not exist, like invalid suggestion was provided, for that case let me remove this part and replace this to SUG, because you remember we are fetching our suggestion right here. And then we will have to respond and say invalid suggestion ID. Now we have to fetch our message and then edit it and tell that to the user. So for that case, I will do const message is equals to await interaction dot guild dot channels dot cache dot get, and that will be sug dot channel question mark dot messages dot fetch, and inside I will do sug dot message, and we will need this question mark dot here as well, just not taking any risk. And we have our message. So first of all, if the message do not exist, then I will just tell the user the suggestion message is deleted. So let me do it real quick. Suggestion message is deleted. Description: this suggestion can no longer be replied. So guys, we forgot one thing in our suggestion create thing. We will also need to send them the buttons with which they are supposed to vote. How can I forget it, man? So first of all, we will have a row. It is going to be a new message action row, and then we will add some components, and by the way, import it like this. And then the components are going to be an array in which I will have a message button, and it is going to have some stuff like, first of all, the custom ID is going to be 1, and then comes few more things. First of all, we will have the up arrow, and we are gonna say upvote, and then comes the style. Style is going to be secondary. And then let me just copy this thing, and I'm gonna paste it again, and instead of 1 it will be 2, and instead of up it will be down, because this is the download button. And here we will just do components, and it will be an array which have the row. And now let me just grab this thing for our edit reply, and I'm just gonna go here. I will create this thing, and this time we will have a difference. I'm just gonna do disable, and I'm gonna set it to true because now the buttons will be disabled. So what we have to do is message.edit, and we have to provide the embeds. It will be message.embeds, and then we have to provide the components. They are going to be this row. Now we have to actually edit the embed as well. So we will just do message dot embeds bracket 0 dot fields bracket 3, that means the fourth one, in which and bracket will have 2, so that we can actually change this status. And then we will do is equals to, and it will be an object. First of all, name will be status, and the value is going to be whatever our status is going to be equals to status is equals to 1. So if our status is equals to 1, and this means that the suggestion was accepted, as you can see. So I will just set it to accepted, and I will add a check mark as well. And otherwise I'm gonna set it to cross, and I will say rejected. Boom, and we are done with the embed, we are done with the row. And now we will need to actually save this up in our database. Now we will just reply to the user, and we will say, yo, your thing is done. Edit reply, and we are gonna say embeds, and it will have the color of green, and we will have the title. It will be check mark suggestion replied, and we are done. And I just realized we need another option for setting the suggestion channel, and for that case I'm just gonna do name, and it will be set channel. And then comes few more things. First of all, the type is going to be 1, the description is going to be select the suggestion channel, and then we will have the options. So for that case I'm just gonna do options array. So options, we will just need 1, it will be channel, and its type is going to be 7, and it is going to be required, and the description is going to be the channel where I should send the suggestions. Now we will need to add a change. We will need to add another property. It will be called channel, and let's call it dash channel instead, is equals to interaction dot options dot get channel, and inside I will provide the name, that is going to be channel, and we are done. And let's call it channel instead. And now comes the options. So we will have another one. It will be else if option is equals to set channel. This means the user is trying to set a channel. So first of all, we will need this if check for checking that user have enough permissions or not. I will just paste it, and then we will need to check if this channel's type is guild text. That means the channel should be a text channel. So I will just do channel dot type is not equals to guild text. This means it is not a text channel. I'm gonna say invalid channel type, invalid channel type, and we can add another. And guys, I'm stupid, so I forgot one more thing. We are going to add another field. Yes, we are going to add another field. For that, we are just gonna do message dot embeds bracket 0 dot fields dot push, and we are gonna push from data, and data is going to be name. The name will be response, and then the value is going to be response as well, because response is our variable, and inline is not going to be true. So now in our channel type set channel thing, we have to set the channel. So for that I'm just gonna do await guild config dot find one and update. First of all, id will be interaction dot guild id, and then we have to set the suggestion property, and it is going to be equals to channel dot id, and I will just tell the user, yo, your thing is done. And I will say interaction dot edit reply, and embed is going to be this. Color will be green, obviously, and title will be checkmark suggestion setup. We found a real error, a real issue. You know, I showed you this thing in which we are adding the stuff. Please make a change here. So you can see this. Add this bracket type -1 because we have additional thing in our database. I will let you know, but the thing is, for now, add this -1 and your thing is totally fine. Alright guys, we will need to make few changes in our database first of all. So as you see right now, we have this. Instead, we are going to make it type string, and default is going to be an empty array, and we're going to do the same for our downvotes as well, and then we are done. And now let me make an event handler for our button. So we are gonna go on event and create a file, and I'm gonna call it interaction create .4.js. And now let's get started. So we will do module.exports is equals to client comma interaction, and it is going to be an async function, and it is going to be equals to this. If interaction is button, but I added a exclamation mark, that is if it is not a button then just return. And then we are gonna do, first of all we will fetch the suggestions from our suggestion model. I will just do this, and I will do const search is equals to suggestion dot find one, and id is going to be interaction dot message dot id. So if the suggestion do not exist, we just ignore this, otherwise we will do some stuff. So first of all we will check out if suggestion dot votes, and by the way please add this await right here. Now we will do dot votes dot up dot includes, and I will provide interaction dot user dot id, or suggestion dot votes dot down dot includes. This means that user is already voted. In that case we are just gonna do return interaction dot, and by the way right here also add await interaction dot defer reply, and let's make it ephemeral. So this is going to be ephemeral, and now we have to do our shit. We will do edit reply, and we are gonna just send a simple embed, and that is going to say embed color will be red, and we are gonna say already voted. Otherwise we will save that thing in our data. So for that we are gonna do suggestion dot votes bracket, and now we will do this interaction dot custom id is equals to 1. This means that user is trying to do the upvote, so we are gonna type up, otherwise we are gonna type down, and then we are gonna do question mark dot push, and we will just push interaction dot user dot id, simple as hell. And then we are gonna make few changes, await suggestion dot find one and update, and then the id is going to be such dot id, that is the message id. And dude, I just found a fucking error. This is not supposed to be id, this is supposed to be message. Dude, I'm so stupid, because we are providing them the message id. And yes, we will need to make this change in our suggestion thing as well. We will just need to go right fucking here, and instead of id I have to do message is equals to this id. And let me just try to find out if I did this mistake again. Nope, we didn't. Good. Now let's get back to interaction create 4, and we are updating it, and we're gonna replace the data to this. Boom. So after updating the data, we will need to update that embed, and we have to tell that user as well. So first of all, let's tell the user interaction dot edit reply embed color is going to be green, comma, now comes the description. No, let's add a title. It will be check voted successfully. GG guys. And after editing the reply, we will need to edit that message. For that case, I'm just gonna do interaction dot message. Well, sorry, we have to do this interaction dot channel dot messages dot fetch, and I'm gonna provide this message IDs. For that, I'm just gonna do sug.id and just add a await right here, and let's provide this. And now I'm not sure if you can use interaction.update, that's why I'm doing this. I will do edit. Let's add a question mark here as well, just not taking a risk. Question mark dot edit, and then we are going to provide the embed. So let's do another thing, guys. Instead of directly sending, let's just control the text, and I'm going to call it message. Const message equals to this. If not message, just return. We do not need any error, and otherwise we have to just edit the message. First of all, let's edit the embed. For that case, I'm just going to do message dot embeds bracket 0 dot fields bracket 0 dot value is equals to sug dot votes dot up dot length, and then comes the field number 1 that will be for our down vote, so we will make it down, and then we are just editing the embeds to message dot embeds. Simple as hell. Now we will need to test all of this out. Let's go, guys. Alright guys, now let's start testing. So first of all we will do slash suggestion and let's try to create a suggestion and let's hope it won't work. Boom, it didn't work. And now let's set up the suggestion. So I'm gonna do set channel and channel is going to be read only. Let's try this. Let's see if, oh GG guys, it is working. I'm gonna set the suggestion and the channel will be equals to, I will set general for now. No, let's set bots instead. I'm gonna send it in this channel instead and let's hope it will be set up. Yep, it is. Now let's create a suggestion and I'm gonna say, yo, make YouTube videos. I don't even know how to spell videos. I'm really sorry about that. All right. Holy shit, it is created. Oh man, it looks good. And now let's try to upvote. Will it fucking work? It said vote. Okay, it didn't work well. So message ID value is not a snowflake. Alright guys, I know what is the issue. Just come here and instead of sug.id, what you are going to do is, I will tell you. Instead of this, just replace all of the sug.id to sug.message. And of course, we will need to make this change here as well. We have lot of sug. Oh, we don't have it here. Just fix that in interaction create.4.js. And the sad thing is guys, the upvote is registered in our database, but it is not registered in that message. So let me just log in with my different account so that we can upvote now. Alright guys. So if I upvote from this account, now we should have a total of 2 upvotes. Let's test it out guys. Upvote, please. Okay, it didn't fucking work. Embed field value must be a non-empty string. I'm sorry guys. I'm a stupid asshole. So we have to add .to string here as well. And I don't have a fucking third account. How will I test it? Let me invite someone, man. Gura. And let me invite. Please vote. I am testing. And let me just spam a bit so that he can, let me spam a bit more. Just a bit more and a bit more. Please. A vote. Thanks. No, fuck. Sorry guys, and by the way, please cut this. Alright guys, now I invited Gura to actually upvote the thing and let's hope that they are going to click on upvote. Please upvote. Oh shit man, please. This. And now let's see what will be the... Okay guys, you can see he downvoted the thing but we have 3 upvotes. Interesting, this means somebody else must have clicked on that. Trust me. And of course we can test all of this out later on. So now what we are gonna do is we will try to reply to the suggestion. So I will just do suggestion, reply, ID is going to be the message ID. Let me just copy it up, paste it, and then comes the status. I'm gonna reject it, response will be too hard, and boom. And now let's hope it works. And it said suggestion replied. Dude, where is it? And rejected, and boom, guys, it fucking works. You can see the suggestion is working absolutely fine. And please do let me know if you find any issue or something. And till then, bye. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm really glad that you guys are watching me and stuff. Please suggest me some stuff. Bye.